might be my computer. It might be Ucaster tonight. I don't know. Hey, Elliot, are you listening on Ucaster? I see in the chat room Blog Talk. Let me know if you can hear it on Ucaster. I don't know if you're in there or not. It's a better feed, so I like to try to use that feed as well. Yeah, anyways, what the heck, dude? Oh, my brother is emailing me. Hey, I want to say happy birthday to my brother, by the way, who is out there listening. Happy birthday. He's 34 years old today. 34 years young or whatever. So, anyways, all right. Well, let's talk about the MLB Network, okay? MLB Network. We had Trini Kucinich on last week from the MLB Network. We did an interview with her, and I want to say this about the MLB Network because I'm a little disappointed with the MLB Network, to be completely honest with you. You know, I'm watching ESPN Classic tonight. Watching ESPN Classic because they've got. I think it was like ESPN's first game that they did opening day. It was the Orioles and the Royals, 1990, April 1st, 1990, and it was kind of cool to watch that game because when you watched it, it was like I want to see that old type of baseball, that old time baseball. The only thing that the MLB Network has been showing the last 3 days, 4 days, whenever they went on the air, the first. Is last year's World Series. How many times can you watch last year's World Series before you get ticked off? How many times can you go? That's enough. I've seen the Phillies win. I know the Phillies win. I mean, we know the outcomes of all these games. We know the outcomes. But come on, give me a break. I can only watch it that many times. So. I can only watch it. And by the way, Blog Talk Radio's got this new server tonight. They upgraded their site, so you might be having some problems. If you're in the chat room, just see what you can do because I think it's supposed to be a better system. And nonetheless, good luck. Hopefully CBK out there. I know I got a couple guys in the chat room who can't hear. Maybe I'll send them a note. CBK, try again. There we go. Okay, hope we can see that. All right. Anyways, I think that I would have thought, it was one of those things where they showed when they launched on their first night, they showed, an old classic game but they haven't really they've been showing a World Series. So. Like I said, I was expecting them to show old games. I mean, like the stuff that you see on ESPN Classic, that type of stuff. I was expecting that. I was thinking that you're going to see that type of stuff. And I watch.
What do you, Kim? What do you consider old?
Well, like watching games from the '80s or the '70s or even the '60s, and I mean those type of games. They've got those. And old is a very subjective thing, to be completely honest with you, but I was thinking, at least 20. I mean, I don't even care. It could be from the '90s. It could be from 2001. I mean, they could replay the Yankees Diamondbacks Game 7. I mean, that's one of the best games that I've watched. But they're not replaying
things like that. I mean, classic games like that. In this day and age, that would definitely be, fair game, but when you're talking about old games, I think about the final game of the 1960 World Series between the Pirates and the Yankees, and Mazeroski hit the walk-off homer. Actually, 1993 that was a great moment when Joe Carter hit the home run to beat the Phillies. I mean, stuff like that. So if they're not showing that stuff and they're just like rehashing stuff that's been happening the last couple of years, well, that's not doing.
We got Sean. Yeah, we got Sean in the chat room here. We got Sean in the chat room who was seeing the mention that I'm watching at the wrong times because he's seen a bunch of classic games of the week or whatnot. That might be the case, but every time that I've turned it on, it's been the World Series from last year, or let me rephrase that. It's been the playoffs from last year. I did see the Phillies-Dodgers Game 4, I think, but then I was watching most of the World Series stuff, and like I said, that stuff is pretty fresh in the memory, and I don't mind them showing it. I understand why they are. That's not the point. The point is that at some point I was thinking that I was going to see, games, like I said, games from the early 2000s and a lot of them. I mean, they're on 24 hours a day, and they just keep rerunning the same stuff. I would have had a long line of games ready to go. I mean, I'm happy that there's like I said last week on the show, I'm very happy that there is an MLB network. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy I can go right now and turn on, and there's going to be something about baseball. So that's cool. And they've got a really neat format where their crawl across the bottom is showing everything that's going on with free agents. You can see they're breaking them down by position, who's available, and it's pretty amazing as to how many people are still available out there in the big leagues, and it's cool to see that crawl across the screen. So they're doing a lot of cool things. I was a little disappointed. I was thinking, man, we're going to see. I'll turn it on and I'll see this game and this game and this game and see a bunch of different stuff, and I just haven't yet. And maybe it's coming.
You have to consider that game of baseball's been going on way over 100 years, and maybe they just haven't got all those archives and films and everything in their system yet, and they're just showing you what they've got already in the system, and they just need to be patient.
Well, Sean in D.C. makes a good point that they have only been on a short time, and I agree with that. They have only been on a short time, but I mean, they've been planning this for 3-4 months. I mean, I know I had to deal with them. I mean, when we had Trini on last week, I was talking with all the MLB people on trying to get that set up, and I know that they wanted it to come off good, I support them. Don't get me wrong. I'm behind MLB Network 100%. I think it's one of the coolest things that has come out in a long time. So I'm in their camp. I'm right behind them. But I guess they maybe should have made me program director. My pipe drain before, but I mean, we can all drain, I guess. Or you? There we go. So anyway, so 646-652-2962. This is what's going to happen tonight. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit. We got a couple of things on tap that I wanted to talk about. Caribbean League, Mexican League. It's funny. I'll get to that in a minute. I do want to talk about a little bit about the Caribbean League and the Mexican leagues, and then another major league thing out there. But it does spark a minor league conversation for me. Milton Bradley is going to do a physical with the Cubs. I think the guy's a putt, but and the only reason why I think that is because he's shown that from everything that he's done. And I'm just curious. It's kind of interesting. Did he get that way when he was in the minor leagues? Did he have that attitude? I know a lot of these guys who signed for big money in the minor leagues start out with that attitude. So we'll examine that a little bit and talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to hopefully the bottom of the hour, maybe after, we're going to have reflections of the year. I want to, I still want to just kind of talk about the year, because we had a real good year at MILBradio.com, so I just kind of want to review that, and then finally we're going to end with a little montage. It's about 15 minutes long of all the, not all, because we did so many interviews this year that, it's one of those things where I'm going to just play a clip of some of our best interviews, and you were responsible for a lot of those. Remember a lot of those interviews, Todd?
Yeah, I remember a lot of them, and I probably forget